Imagine walking into one of the world's most dangerous and secured prisons. A place where gang leaders, murderers, and criminals who've shaped El Salvador's dark history, live and die behind towering walls. But what if these prisoners, who were once society's worst, are now part of a larger plan to rebuild the country they once terrorized? This is not your typical prison. Welcome to the world's most unconventional, high-stakes incarceration facility. Welcome to La Granja, a place where gang members, murderers, and the country's most notorious criminals are housed. But this isn't just a holding cell, this is a microcosm of El Salvador's radical transformation. What was once a nation plagued by violence and the highest murder rates in the world has now become a beacon of hope and rehabilitation. But how did we get here? For decades, El Salvador was synonymous with crime. Gang violence reigned supreme, fueled by powerful organizations like MS-13 and Barrio 18. The streets were ruled by fear, and the prison systems were even worse, with inmates controlling vast parts of the institutions. These criminals didn't just commit crimes, they created an ecosystem of corruption, trafficking, and violence that even the government struggled to control. In response to this, President Nayib Bukele enacted drastic measures to bring order to chaos. He introduced a plan that went beyond traditional imprisonment. He took the fight to the very heart of the prison system itself, implementing a strategy that involved more than just locking people away. His administration focused on transforming these prisoners into productive citizens, offering them opportunities to rebuild their lives through education and labor. This approach, though controversial, was part of what's been called Plan Cero Ocio, or the Plan of No Leisure. This initiative ensures that prisoners are put to work, whether it's through learning new skills, working in construction, or even taking courses that prepare them for life outside the prison walls. The ultimate goal: to break the cycle of violence and give these men the tools they need to reintegrate into society as contributing citizens. But there's a twist. Not all prisons in El Salvador follow this rehabilitation model. Some, like La Granja, serve as the final stop for those who've completed their rehabilitation journey. But others, like the infamous CECOT, Centro de Confinamiento del Terrorismo, exist as a place of pure containment, a place where the most dangerous criminals are isolated from society forever. Now, let's step into a different world. While La Granja offers a glimpse of rehabilitation and reintegration, CECOT is where the most dangerous criminals are held, those who have been irreversibly lost to violence and destruction. Built in 2022, CECOT is the largest and most secure prison in Latin America. Its design is a fortress, constructed to hold the world's most violent gang members, drug traffickers, and terrorists. This prison is not just a containment facility, it's a symbol of El Salvador's new stance on crime: no mercy, no second chances. The walls of CECOT are reinforced with razor wire, and armed guards are stationed at every corner. With 19 watchtowers and a system that blocks all phone signals, the prison creates a near-impenetrable barrier between the inmates and the outside world. Each cell is nothing more than a small, suffocating space where the air smells of despair. The only light they see is artificial, burning 24/7, a constant reminder of their isolation. For the inmates of CECOT, the outside world no longer exists. But even more than the physical barriers, it's the psychological isolation that breaks these prisoners down. The constant exposure to artificial light means there is no day or night, only endless, draining hours. Without the natural rhythms of day-to-day life, time becomes meaningless, and the inmates are left to stew in their thoughts. Isolation this intense isn't just about being alone, it's about being forgotten. Forgotten by the world, by their families, by society. It's a psychological warfare that wears down even the toughest of criminals. Every aspect of their existence is controlled. They don't eat until the guards decide, they don't sleep when their bodies need rest, they only sleep when they are allowed to. Their humanity is stripped away, replaced with a hollow routine of survival. It's a life devoid of choices, a life that drags the soul through a pit of emptiness. In a place where everything is regimented, even the smallest act of rebellion is met with harsh punishment. And for those who are particularly violent or who misbehave, the ultimate consequence is solitary confinement. Here, prisoners are locked in total darkness, in isolation from the rest of the world, for days or even weeks on end. This isolation is a weapon designed not just to punish, but to break them mentally and emotionally. The darkness consumes them, leaving them in a state where time becomes irrelevant, and the mind begins to deteriorate. As we step away from Sakot, the weight of what we've just witnessed becomes overwhelming. A country once ravaged by violence, now standing as one of the safest in the Western Hemisphere, but at what cost? The price of peace here has been steep: human lives, broken futures, and a society left to pick up the pieces. Inside these walls, justice is a cold, mechanical force. Rehabilitation? That's a distant dream in these walls. This is pure containment. These men, once the most feared in the nation, now live in a state of permanent isolation. It's hard to imagine a life more disconnected from humanity than the one they lead in this prison.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.